World first, day one, tier 4, Sentry. You heard it here first, folks. Yes, although I didn't drop the video right away, we did it, we got it, and it's good. And now let's cover it. We got 20 Obies, 20 Odin's Blessings on the boy. We've got the stage 6 type enhancement. We got Power of Angry Hulk, but we're cooking up something on the side. Don't you worry about that. We got the kind of lowly 3-star artifact, but hey, we got the artifact. It's there. It's 10% increased damage to villains and 10% max HP. In my opinion, there's not a big difference between a 3 and a 4-star version. So if you have the 4-star, cool. If you have the 3-star, cool. Really, only I think there's a big difference at 5 and 6 stars because of how artifact scaling works. And then right now for this video, that's right, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to be seeing a Rage CTP, a Mighty Rage gameplay. And then I'll be showing you a little bit of proc gameplay because yes, indeed, he is proc friendly, as crazy as that sounds. So I'm really excited. So this is basically the PVE Sentry with the day one. We'll cover the PvP later. Obviously, he's good for PvP. He's amazing for PvP. But I can also show you a little bit of how he can do PvP with a PvE build. So it gets you excited. We'll also talk a little bit later about his cost, but first, the gameplay. Taking it off with something simple. We got stage 74 of Mephisto, so I can show you guys the rotation. We do 4 delay, 5-3, and then we let the 3 rock out, and then we splash in a little bit of 2 because it's a rage, and you can do that. And then you do a little bit of 1. And then you just do it all over again. There you go. You pop it off, and there you go. Very nice. And there you go. 16 seconds in, and we're already into the next phase. You can pass the buffs over to the tier 3 and just rip it with the tier 3, as you can see. You just have to cancel everything into the tier 3. I'm not exactly sure if that's the best rotation for him just yet, but you're essentially passing the proc from the 5th skill so that it rocks on, I believe there's a proc on the 5th skill, so it rocks on the 5 and on the 3. And then you can also just cancel everything and then make that shit rock on the tier 3, and then the tier 3 hits pretty hard. If you don't do that, the tier 3, in my opinion, doesn't hit pretty hard, and it's really not worth phoning home about. But yeah, as you can see here, like, this is done. This is Dunskies. This is a minute, and yeah, absolutely just obliterates him. That's the rotation. With the same team jumping up to stage 50 of Kang, this one's a little bit too hard for him, but I still wanted to showcase it for you guys because of how tanky he is, and just to show you that, you know, when you give him something like a proc or you know, a CTP of energy, he will be able to rock it. And I just also wanted to clarify, when I said the tier 3, when I said there's a proc and you pass it to the tier 3, the proc is actually on the tier 3. It's just that if you play out the 5-4-3, the 4-5-3 combo, and then you press the tier 3 has a proc, but it's just going to proc on the tier 3. Whereas if you pop everything at once, right, 4 delay, 5-3 6, then you get that damage proc to buff all the hits that are happening simultaneously. So I think this is the best rotation for him based on that, but you're welcome to test out other ones. As you can see, because he doesn't have guaranteed crit rate, you have a few cringe moments where he just doesn't trigger his rage at all, and you're just left with no damage. So I don't think rage is the best option for him. It's obviously the most flexible option, but you know, some people out there just prefer not to have to worry about proccing and things like that. Like, the damage is okay. It's not where it needs to be, but it's not far off either. It's certainly not far off either. But let's see about GBR. Over on the field of Dormammu, remember that Sentry has the leadership tag, so you can use him with White Fox if you want to take full advantage of him. It's not going to work that often in World Boss content because he's universal and she's speed, and he's male and she's female, but otherwise it's not bad. And of course you get iframe ignore during the tier 3, so again, you probably want to, bruh, for real. Wow, was trying to get it in, couldn't quite get there. Okay, that's kind of annoying. Almost one-shotted phase 1. Probably should have, to be honest with you, but it's okay. They did also lower Dormammu's HP. They lowered it by about yeah, no rage proc. Wow, that's crazy. They lowered it by about 300 million. It's not like a small number that they lowered it by. So if you're noticing that you're faster in GBR, that's why it makes these sorts of tests a little bit less accurate, I would say. But I still wanted to showcase it for you guys so you guys can see, in case, you know, rage is something that interests you for your Sentry build, right? Go ahead and pop everything, Can't really see because the camera zooms way back and the 5th skill just covers everything. The 5th skill has a huge... oh, I messed that up. That was my fault. I messed that up. But yeah, there you go. Less than a minute and a half. Not bad. Not the fastest I have, for sure, especially with a double support lineup and a Mighty Rage. I'd say he's probably like mid-level. Obviously, in terms of defenses, you can just ignore almost everything that Dormammu's doing. You saw me just like run into the fire and still not die. He's super duper tanky. But I think what's probably more interesting to people is how does he fare in PvP with this PvE CTP? So most notably, you know, most of the PvE CTPs don't do anything for PvP or do very, very little. So I wanted to showcase this for you guys so you can see. That's the wrong team, brother. That's the wrong team for that. But yeah, we're just going to go with this double support team. We're just going to fight a few of the top guys. And then we're going to switch him over to an energy and essentially do the same thing. And then go and try and tackle that, that stage 50 Kang. So he still has a really good second skill. He might kill himself here to reflect. Yeah, he does. Obviously, PvP CTP could fix that defensively. But offensively, he doesn't really need anything, bro. He's like, he hits hard. This will be interesting. The mirror match here. What's gonna happen? Probably gonna lose in the mirror match. Let's be honest, because he can get guard broken and stuff. Doesn't have guard break on his kit. Guard break immunity. Excuse me, I should say. The way that, yeah, you can see he gets locked up there. He doesn't have guard break immunity the way that Adam has, but he's still super tanky. He's sort of like I'd say he's like a tankier version of Adam with a, you know, different play style in the sense that you have like multiple bomb skills, multiple nuke skills, rather than just one nuke skill, but still very, very strong, and I think well worth the investment. We'll do a couple more matches here, but this is what I expect to happen is he can, if he gets a clean shot, he can do a lot of damage. What is that? What is that? What is that? If he gets a clean shot, he can do a lot of damage, and you'll obviously have more luck playing him on manual. So I'm showing you autoplay just so you guys can get the most unbiased take, right? I'm not trying to sell you on the uniform. I'm not trying to mislead you into like, oh, if you're doing this and this and that. I know I have very, very strong cards for PvP. I gave him 20 Odin's Blessing, so my build is very stacked. You can emulate the build. Can't necessarily emulate other things. So I just wanted to show you guys how the Rage allows him to perform. You can't see any. You literally can't see anything. When this is the mirror match, like against Surfer, you can actually see what's going on, but genuinely against the mirror match, they both press 5. You can't see anything. He suicides a lot when Surfer revives. I find that even with a PvP CTP, he suicides a lot on the second life for some reason. Oh, wow. He didn't tank that. I'm surprised. Wow. Oh, it's a brilliant greed. Wow. Yeah. He usually, even with a Rage, he can usually tank Adam, but he wasn't able to that time. But still, I gotta say, you know, almost taking on a whole team by himself, not bad. And again, you're going to get the flexibility of a character who's then able to also carry the weight in PvE content. I don't know how valuable that is to you. It obviously depends on your account. It just one-shots Thanos. Very cool. It obviously depends on your account and what you need. I will say this, despite being universal, human, hero, male, and having leadership, I find that Sentry is not available for a lot of the stages of World Boss Legend that I would like him to be available for. Like, for the earlier bosses, Null, Mephisto, Ultron, he's available for some stuff, but once you get into the higher stages, like 50 plus, he's not really there for any of the first few bosses. Not for Gore. For Jean, you have to go way down to like 25 to be able to use Sentry. You can't use him from like 26 up to like 60. Same thing goes for Kang. You can't really use him until at least 50. So yeah, this is a nice performance for sure, bro. This is a nice performance for sure, bro. But I don't know. Between a Rage and an Energy, I personally think if the fucking orange circle would let me live, I personally think that the Energy is going to be better. I think it's going to be almost the same. And we're going to unequip it here so we can test this out. I personally think the Energy is very, very similar. You can reforge it if you want. You could reforge it to a Mighty. But I think it's going to be very similar for PvP. And then on the PvE side of things, I think this is going to absolutely rip. Going back to that stage 50, and we might do a little Black Swan testing if this goes really well as well. We're going to go ahead and see now if he is proc friendly. Okay, it's not bad. But where's the damage, dog? Where is the damage? Okay, I don't think we missed our proc. Okay, that damage is pretty good. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Okay, we're cooking. We're cooking. Yeah, okay. Tier 3. Yeah, tier 3 hits pretty hard. He tanks the lasers. Nice. Okay. I think I might have missed my very first proc, and it threw me off to the damage. I think I missed this one as well. He's not that proc friendly. My fingers are not that fast. I'm not saying he's proc unfriendly, but you have to be very fast. You have to be very fast. Otherwise, oh, I started too early. Oh, wow. I started the rotation too early, but we still got it. Bro, this damage is great. This damage is really, really nice. I keep starting the rotation early, though. Okay, we're just kind of spamming here to get to the next phase. Nice. Wow, so he can do this stage. Let's go. With just a regular energy. That's kind of dirty. That's kind of dirty. That's kind of dirty. That is not bad. For a dude who was pretty mid in PvE, I gotta say, when he was released, Sentry, I always thought he was mega overhyped for PvE, and he was just a straight PvP dog. Obviously, Sentry's amazing for PvP. Never gonna argue that. But to see him actually being able to put in the work in PvE is kind of nice, you know? It's nice when you get a hybrid sort of situation, or a character that can be hybrid, you know? It's nice. We don't have that many these days. It's rare. So it's cool to see. Sort of like Thanos, not exactly. But yeah, let's go ahead and kick this off here. I didn't do the fourth skill properly. I canceled the fourth skill too early. Damn. Okay, and it shows up in the damage. I proc too early. Yeah, you can definitely proc at the beginning by accident if you are just kind of unlucky, because there's hits right at the beginning of the fourth skill. It's unlikely, but it's possible. But he's so tanky, man. He's so tanky. Crazy. There we go. There we go. Let him have it, dude. And again, because he's so fast, right? So picture that you have a mighty... this is not a reforged energy, right? So picture you had a mighty energy. I'm recharging the proc. I'm recharging the proc. Because you have to wait for the fifth skill to come off cooldown, because it's got a shorter cooldown. A longer cooldown, excuse me, than the fourth skill. So he would pair very well with like a... Oh, maybe like even a mighty destruction. You know what I'm saying? Ooh, a mighty destruction might be dirty. I don't know why. Okay. I didn't press 1 and 2. You have to press 1 and 2 to charge up the tier 3 in between. And I didn't, and that's why that scrambled there. And the damage was garbage. I'm not even playing that well, and he can do this stage. Yeah. Nice. But you will miss some procs, I think. I think just because of bad luck with the fourth skill. Or just be me and just be impatient. That works too. All right, let's try to nail this one here. I do want to get to the end of this fight. I think we got it. Yeah. The damage in the tier 3 is very long. So you're like not sure if you hit it at first because the bars are not flying. And then the bars keep moving and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I did hit it, true. But you got to wait. You do have to wait until the 5 is almost off cooldown. Because the cancel... The duration cancel between 4 and 5 is very, very short. So if you start 4 too early, you're going to screw it up. And I might screw this up too. Let's see here. Oh, I knew I was going to get guard broken. No. Sometimes you do and sometimes you don't. And I took the risk there and I'm going to pay the price. Yeah, see, that's what the proc's supposed to look like. That proc's nice, dude. Yo, he got it. The boy with a regular energy. The boy gets it done. No artifact on Ronin either. Yo, Sentry. Sentry, my dude. Now, the more interesting thing. So I like him for PvE. I'm not saying you should build him for PvE. I'm not saying PvE is his preferred game mode. Obviously, everybody knows the legend of Sentry in PvP. I'm just saying... Hey, here's an alternative. You know, obviously we're going to do a PvP deep dive, guys. Obviously we're going to do a PvP deep dive. But in the meantime, check out what he can do with it. Man, stop with these goofy teams. Check what he can do with an energy, right? You know, just check it out. Maybe it interests you. Maybe it's some off-brand shit you want to try. You know, some people hit me up after this Silver Surfer video. They were confused. They didn't understand. that you can build a character more than one way. They were like, why the hell did you give Sentry an energy? Are you stupid? Are you dumb? No, dude, I'm not dumb. Not everyone cares about PvP. I'm not dumb enough to think that my audience is dumb, that they can't understand the nuance there. There's a little bit of nuance there, and you just have to respect the nuance, you know? Characters can be built for different game modes, and they can still do well. You know, it just depends on what your definition of well is. If you're trying to be number one, obviously that's a different story. Yeah, but otherwise, hey, he took down Sentry. He took down Silver Surfer. That's not bad. Did he take a life off Sentry? I don't think he did. That's not bad. It's not great though. But yeah, if you reforged it with attack and defense, he would still get guard broken. So it doesn't solve the guard break thing. A Mighty Destruction would solve the guard break thing, but then you have the issue of, because his penetration is what, 33%? Is it? 80? No, it's 80. Woo! Hulk is 33. My bad. I got them confused. Yeah, a mighty destruction might actually be the hybrid play. Again, not saying it's the best option for him, but yeah, that could potentially work. So yeah, hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know what you guys think of PVE Sentry. Oh yeah, right. I gotta tell you guys the cost. So for tier 4 Sentry, I can't break down all the costs. You can see it in the video in the live stream when I did it, but I want to particularly highlight his level 70 to 80 costs because they were very cheap. You can use bios to get him from 70 up to 80. You have to use tier 4 materials when you're on the enhancement page, so keep that in mind. But you should use Life Seed, only use Life Seed, and it only takes, I'll throw the numbers up, but it only takes about 1,883, so about 1,900 Life Seed to get him from 70 to 80, which is not bad at all. But you could use Carbonadium or Soul of the Faltine. I don't recommend it, but you could. And then for each of the upgrades from 70 to 80, it costs an insane amount of bios. It starts at 1,200 bios, and it builds up to almost 2,000 bios. So it's like, you know, easily 8,000 biometrics just to get him from 70 to 80, which is wild. But instead of doing that, just use CCF. It's just rank 1 CCF. You don't have to rank up CCF, and it only costs you 500 CCF in total. It's super cheap on that end of things. It's going to cost you a lot of gold, and it's going to cost you a decent amount of Life Seed, but yeah, absolutely use the CCF in that case. It's much better, and it's probably an apology from last time when they made us use CCF for his gears when he first came out, before we could farm CCF properly from World Boss Legend back in 2020. Anyways, for those of you that remember that time, a shout out to you. Hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know what you think of Sentry tier 4 world first. Thank you so much for watching the video. Smash the like button if you enjoyed the content, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.